Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we are going to look at some papers from the company Hahnemuhle, which is a German company. They make fine art papers for all different types of media, and they sent me some cold press watercolor paper to try. I typically use cold press, which is probably your most standard type of watercolor paper. It's not too smooth, not too rough. It's nice and right in the middle. So the first product I want to show you, and this is, I'm just going to be reviewing these cold press papers. They have more watercolor papers than this, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on these. The first thing that I was really excited to try were these watercolor postcards, and here's one that is not painted on. It has a somewhat rough surface. It's a cold press surface, not very rough, and on the other side there is a place for you to write your message, write an address, and mail it. So this is the only one I have left that I haven't painted. I really enjoyed these. They're a little on the thin side, and they are a cellulose paper, so you're going to be a little limited as to what you can do, but for a postcard I'm just going to be doing a quick sketch anyway. So I have used watercolors, I have used watercolor crayons like the gel crayons, gel pens, and basically just practiced different techniques and different brush strokes. And I had these kind of in my bag with me for a couple of weeks, and at any opportunity I just grabbed my paints and a postcard and started painting. And you can see that you can get nice crisp lines on these. You can get some pretty decent detail. They're just a lot of fun. I really had fun making these too. I've been debating whether or not I'm going to put them in my craft fair sale tomorrow for sale, or if I'm just going to mail them out myself because they're a lot of fun to do. And I did a lot of these on vacation just because it was fun and easy to doodle these. So I definitely recommend these. I don't think they're very expensive either. I'm pretty sure I saw them on Amazon for under 20. I'm thinking more like $15, and I'll probably cut more paper down to fit in this tin just because it's so darn handy and I enjoyed using them so much. So another one of the wood pulp papers is their Watercolor Book. It is a academy, meaning a student grade cellulose paper, and I've been using this for maybe a month, and I really enjoyed using them. So basically the big issue we might have on a student grade paper, on a cellulose paper, is that you might end up with a lot of hard edges because your paints are going to dry a little less evenly. It doesn't absorb the water as much, so you'll end up with a lot of hard edges and blooms and things like that. But that you can work with that. You can actually work that to your advantage. Like on this plein air sketch I did, you can see some blooms back in the sky. I don't mind that. I had a lot of fun sketching that, and I'm going to show you the same painting I did on one of their cotton papers in a second. But I really like this. The paper's a little thin. It's almost, I think it's the same stuff as the postcards might be made out of, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. It handled mixed media very well, like these gel crayons. It did really well, and it was a lot of fun to work on. So this is the one on the cellulose paper, student grade cellulose paper, and here I'm going to show you this Hahnemuhle Cezanne paper, which is cotton, and I did the same painting. And if you look, you can see on the cotton paper your colors are more vibrant, you got more blending rather than blooming in the background, and it was just a nice rich looking paper. And this is a little bit thinner looking, if you know what I mean. Like this has a little bit more richness and robust coloring, whereas this is just a little bit less. Not a huge deal, but you can definitely see more color depth in the cotton paper versus a cellulose. So it's kind of nice to show a comparison like that. And it's not unique to Hahnemuhle. You're gonna find that situation with cotton versus cellulose with pretty much any brand. So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention if they didn't know what the big deal was about cotton paper. So this is the expression paper, which is another cotton paper. So that was Cezanne that I just showed you with a rock, 100% cotton. This is the expression paper, also 100% cotton rag. This is from my loose watercolor florals class. This was a negative painting demonstration that I did in that class. And then I just did these gummy bears on a live stream on YouTube. You can find that tutorial for free on YouTube. And Yeah, I think this handled really well. It was a lot of fun to paint on. This is 140 pound. The other one was also 140 pound. So there's a couple of beautiful cotton papers in their line, the Cezanne and the Expression. So the next one I'm going to show you is also a cotton paper, but it is a 300 pound paper. So it's twice as thick. And I wanted to use this because I knew I was probably going to be delving into some multimedia. And I did this for the Ever After course I'm doing over on Willowing. And so this course is available now. My lesson doesn't appear until September, but I used watercolor, I used markers, I used ink, I used pan pastel, and colored pencil, and it was able to hold up to all of that. And I just have a piece of deli paper there to keep any pan pastel from transferring, but it was really nice to work on. Generally with a portrait you'd go with a smoother paper, but I just usually like cold press, and I wanted to give this a try, so I was really pleased with how that worked as well. And the last paper, I actually just did a quick demo so I could get a feel for it. Was this this one is called Harmony. It's very similar in weight. Well, it's the same weight as the Cezanne and the Expression paper, but it is cellulose. So, and these are acid-free papers, so they shouldn't yellow on you or anything. But I also found it to behave quite well. It was very similar to the paper in the sketchbook and the postcards, but a little bit heavier. And I just did a quick fuchsia doodle on here with that. And yeah, I think it was good. Now, the thing is, in the United States, these papers are going to be hard to find, and they are going to be a little expensive. But if you're in Europe, I know a lot of my viewers are in the UK, you can find this paper a lot cheaper. So I wanted to review this because I had a few people ask me about it, and yeah, I say go for it. I actually got some of the Hahnemuhle calligraphy paper in my Smart Art box a few months ago, and I really liked that. I was doing little watercolor brush calligraphy as well as pen calligraphy, and I really like that as well. So based on everything I've tried by this company, I would say absolutely go for it. I know the YouTube channel Sadie Saves the Day has a review on other papers that I didn't have, in case you want a little bit more more information, but I will list these papers down just so you'll have it in the video description. And I say any of these, go for it. You can't go wrong as long as the price is right, as with anything, right? I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed these product reviews, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below and I'll help you if I can. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.